Hello, my friends and neighbors. My name is Michael Vasquez, and I wanted to have this conversation with you back in March, but due to COVID-19, I wasn't able to. Instead, I want to have that conversation now. Over the past several months, we've all been through some very challenging times. Our community has endured a viral infection, unemployment, isolation, and business closings. Most recently, we have suffered arson and looting. Even in the best of times, these are hardships that would try any government, let alone the fact that this is affecting every level of government across the nation simultaneously. So it's no surprise that much information has been lost or ignored in the blur of news. One of the things that has been missed is critical for our future: the 2020 local and state elections. In March, our state and nation shut down. The petition season ended. Candidates gained ballot access and primaries were established for multiple races. But unlike decades past, there were no announcements of who sought to represent you, the public. There were so many more immediate concerns that June and November seemed a lifetime away. For 98% of our local and national community, we survived this threat, and we mourn all of those that did not. We now have begun the process of reopening our state and our nation, with constraints to ensure that the most at risk of our neighbors will be protected. Let me pause to thank each of us for the struggle we have endured, and our emergency services and service workers that were steadfast in helping so many that suffered from COVID-19, domestic abuse, drug addiction, depression, and alcohol abuse. Let's all praise the efforts of so many that donated food and essential supplies, and those that ensured these items were distributed to those in need. But this process has not been smooth or perfect. While taking care of each other, there were many issues and flaws of government at every level that appeared. Abuses of power, controversial overreach, and a patchwork lack of planning or foresight led to confusion and inefficiency. Several of these issues continue even at this moment. Even more are apparent as we consider the consequences, both immediate and in the near future. This makes the omission of the 2020 local elections and the candidates in the elections something we should not allow to continue. I know for many it may feel just too soon, but for the good of our community at the local, state, and federal level, we must get in front of this rapidly changing environment. We need to learn about, evaluate, and support candidates that can address the needs of our community, not just for the headline of tomorrow, but for the reality of down the road. In March, I was among the candidates that qualified for the local 2020 elections. The reasons that led me to consider elected office have only become more critical since January. My belief in term limits, fiscal responsibility and planning, as well as effective governance, are even more important to our future than perhaps at any time in our history in the last 70 years or maybe more. My dedication to all of the people of our community, veterans and civilians, young and old, of every race equally, has never been more in my mind and my actions. While I've been steadily letting the public know of my candidacy via website, videos, and the social media, that has been so critical for us keeping connected as emergency powers kept us apart, it is time to make sure that I reach out to everyone in the community. Citizens deserve as much time as possible to learn about each candidate, where they stand, and how they address the challenges quickly facing our families, friends, and neighbors. Though it's not possible at this time to meet each constituent face-to-face, as I would prefer, it is not an excuse to fail to reach out and provide voters information they deserve. It is also time that the news media place more effort and emphasis on the local elections, as the choices made in June and in November are too substantial to be handled in the last minute. Therefore, I want to decisively state that I am running for the Broome County Legislator District 13 seat. I seek to be the effective voice of our community to the county and state. I want to represent you in planning for the consequences we know are coming from COVID-19 and recent acts of violence, like higher taxes, more unemployment, and cut services. All subjects no one likes and most politicians avoid, but a reality that cannot be avoided in the wake of the shutdown. I'm running for the Broome County Legislator for the 13th District to help unify our community, to add a voice that is not beholden to a political party or a fringe ideology, to ensure that hardworking residents are connected to our local government by a voice that is intimately aware of the needs for transportation, to pay bills, to have a secure neighborhood to live in. I'm running to make sure that our community is represented, not dictated to, by an effective communicator that has experience and relationships with every level of government from the local to the federal level. We face challenging times with issues that are fluid and constant. We need elected officials that are effective, active, and directly connected to our needs. I believe my record of over a decade of fighting the good fight, of holding elected officials accountable, of looking critically at the issues and their consequences is what will be essential not just for 2020 and 2021, but well beyond. I invite the public and the news media to speak with me via my website and social media until we can speak in person about what I can do for the community. My name is Michael Vasquez. With your support, I will be your voice and passionate representative to face the needs that we all have. With your support, I will be the next Broome County Legislator for District 13, and I want to thank you, and I want you all to be well.